looking to move their team up the standings and make that trip to China that much easier.
Yeah, Mikel having a lot of success. Him and Fei both have a 2-1 record in sets in 2v2. Fei at 6-3, Mikel at 3-1. Excuse me, 3-1 record.
3-1 ratio.
Yeah, ratio. Wow. It's a good way to start the day.
So opening up, Dark Goblin in support. Does cross before the Rascal, so not exactly how they would have loved that to work out, but a few big shots. That Dark Goblin's so quick.
Yeah, double Rascals coming down. Kind of surprising. We haven't seen a lot of them in 2v2, but the Mega Knight is a great counter.
Very interesting. You know, take a look at Immortals. They run a lot of Graveyard, a lot of Miner. Looks like they might be switching things up today.
Yeah, we've seen Giant Skeleton paired with Graveyard a couple times, and definitely with those Rascals and Dark Prince, we might be even thinking Royal Hogs, but we'll just have to find out and see.
Little cycle snowball, get a bit of damage, and here we go, Ram Rider, and this has been the go-to deck for Fnatic this season. They have run double Ram Rider 10 times.
Yeah, and that King Tower activation will be nice for Immortals. However, using the NATO on that as opposed to the Ram Rider does allow a big connection, now down to 1091 on their right-hand tower.
90 seconds left in regulation on our opening game of Super Saturday. Fnatic, great start to this day if they have those hopes of making it into playoffs.
Yeah, Fnatic in a very, very interesting position right now, and Immortals as well. They are clinched, but they have a very good chance of ending up in the bottom three, depending on how this match goes, and that is not a place you want to be in.
Great job this time blocking the Ram Rider with the Giant Skeleton, clogging up the lane. Poison does do its damage, down to 791. Immortals in trouble as we enter into double elixir time.
Yeah, a lot of trouble. They haven't been able to get their win condition down, and there you go, right at the river. Graveyard goes down. I think we were all expecting it based off of how long it was taking them to play their win condition, but getting it down this late in the match could be a lot of trouble for Immortals.
Miner to the back, and this one NATO'd again, but gets a couple very important shots. The log will contribute as well, down to 579. Immortals now getting dangerously close to spell cycle range.
Yeah, those Rascals coming down last second must have been the best answer in their hand to take care of that Baby Dragon. Something to distract it would have been much better for Immortals.
Poison easily in response to that Graveyard. Dark Goblin does get one shot, Snowball to get it off the tower.
Giant Skeleton dropped in the back, maybe to try to pick up a Miner coming in.
Just going ahead and eating that Dark Prince damage. Not really a concern at this point.
Giant Skelly almost getting to tower with that NATO, but it falls right before the NATO lands.
Now we are in sudden death overtime, and Immortals trying to fire back, but at 323 going to be a tall order to keep this damage off tower.
Yeah, doubling down with, and that Baby Dragon shot is everything. Now they got a poison, now they have lightning, so Fnatic is going to take game number one. You saw the double Goblin drop at the river there for basically Baby Dragon food, not the best use of Elixir when they were in a tight spot.
Baby Dragon food, that... You know, it's interesting, Andrew, I do see them everywhere. I saw a Baby Dragon getting a Chipotle burrito yesterday.
Love those Chipotle burritos. Always got to double down on the meat. So RF and craaap here, every time they've won the 2v2 set, their team has won the match. So a really big moment for Immortals, and with Fnatic taking out AC and RF early on in the day and then going up against Colton and Razor, this is going to be a great confidence boost for them.
Well, we'll see what Immortals have to say about the idea of being taken out by Fei and Mikel. RF and craaap definitely have the ability to adjust and come back in this 2v2. It does look like they're going back to that same deck a second time.
Yeah, and the most important thing for this, and Immortals specifically in running this deck, is they have to figure out a way to play defense at a positive Elixir trade so that they can get the Graveyard down early and force pressure. Fnatic had no pressure in that last game.
Dark Prince gets stuck behind for a moment, but almost works out well to a certain degree. Giant Skeleton Bomb cleans up, and Dark Prince goes, puts a couple big-time shots on that E-Wiz. 1 minute down in the second game.
Yeah, now it almost looks like both teams are just running back what they had prior, as you see two Rascal sets coming down for Immortals.
Mega Knight doesn't make a ton of appearances in 2v2, but we do see it here.
An early Inferno Tower there, almost unnecessary.
And now Ram Rider all the way in the back for Fnatic.
Yeah, Fnatic is going to try to take care of that Inferno Tower and allow the Ram Rider to get straight through.
Dark Prince does not get across to pick up the Inferno Tower aggro, so Ram Rider taken down before it can do any damage. Dart Goblin supporting that giant skeleton, and here we go, a big graveyard push.
This is exactly what we're talking about early on. This is before Double Elixir has even hit, whereas last game they were not able to get it down until deep into Double Elixir.
Rascals pull the P.E.K.K.A off focus from the tower. Heading into Double Elixir time, and things still fairly even, although the big story for this game is Immortals, as you mentioned, Andrew, seems to really have changed and adjusted their focus of how they play this matchup.
Yeah, you know, they really need to get that win condition down over and over, and ideally rotating the win condition in the graveyard is the best way to keep your opponent on their heels.
A big lightning. Ram Rider, though, getting blocked, and this we've seen from the Giant Skeleton a few times today, just standing in the way and making it so troops cannot move.
Yeah, that's one of the coolest things about the interactions with the Giant Skeleton is you saw right there, it was essentially a log in the way that it made the Ram Rider take the long route to the Princess Tower. So a cool way of stunning or stopping a card without actually having to use a spell.
Miner to the safe spot, snowballed back to prevent a little bit of damage, and nice work with the Rascal to get in the way. Entering into sudden death overtime, and Fnatic does have a slight lead again, adds to it a bit with that log. We'll see what Immortals can do with this Ram Rider.
Very nice job staggering their units is Immortals that way, protecting the Dark Goblin or the Rascal Girls. Now the freeze coming down. This is not going to be enough. Too much elixir in the hand of Fnatic.
And Ram Rider does get pulled with the late Inferno Lightning. Might make enough room, and that Ram Rider's getting to tower.
Yeah, and the Ewiz is on the tower on the left-hand side, raged up. Pick your poison, Immortals. You got to play some defense.
Ram Rider does connect. Miner on the right-hand side, Ewiz on the left, and that was a really rough sequence for Immortals. 30 seconds gone in sudden death overtime, and they are on the ropes.
Yeah, that was just beautifully crafted by Fnatic. You saw Immortals not knowing which lane to pick and defend, and not really having the elixir in hand to do so. So they had to ignore a raged up Ewiz on the left-hand tower, which is something you never want to do.
Log takes care of the Dark Goblin, no longer acting in support. Log opposite direction to push back that Ram Rider, but she does get a connection. Poison ticks, that's going to be it. All they need is a snowball or a lightning. Fnatic opens up